Barcelona has made quite the run here in our playoffs today, with Ronicky being the leader of the power on this team. Also, my favorite part's been Flakes' just wonderful exhibition of all the options you have available to you in Rocket League. I think there's many firsts so far this week we've seen of vehicles that have never been played in Rocket League, but I think that might stop here. Vitality is a monster at Jeeves.
Yeah, and the last time they played back in, I believe it was around week 3, it did not go well for Barca. 3-1, and they only won game 1 in a 1-0 fashion, and Flakes was kept very quiet for the majority of that series, and Ronicky was stuck a lot, making a lot of defensive saves and stuff like that. So if you want, to keep Ronicky up on that offense, I think Turtle actually hit the nail on the head. It's got to be Flakes coming up with the big defensive clears, take sort of that Atomic or Mistral like you would see on Ghost. And you need that strong defensive presence from Flakes, and then just get that ball out to Ronicky and see what happens, because you're going to have to choose where you put your resources, right? Devo and Flakes need to control that back line and the midfield, and let Ronicky just set him up, give him chances to succeed, because they're absolutely right. Turtle's right. Vitality's going to be all over you this game.
Yeah, no. Vitality, a triple threat offense, a triple threat defense. These are 3 of the best players in the world, and they are looking... Shogun said it very well on Twitter. Right now, Barca faces the hardest match in Rocket League, trying to keep K-Dop out of a grand finals, something he doesn't do. He's never kept out of grand finals. We'll see if he's there again. We might get a rematch of Dignitas versus Vitality, one of the best matches of last year in the Season 7 World Championships. Season 8, rather. We'll get this one underway. We got a ways to go before we get there. It's a best of 7, starting here on Manfield, or on DFH Stadium, rather, with Barca in the blue, Vitality in the orange. Right now, midfield control as Devo presses forward. Ronicky up. There's Flakes. Out to K-Dop, now to Fairy Peak. He takes a shot. Oh, just off the crossbar and back out. Ronicky will clear it to the corner. And we'll look to clear this one and move into offense now.
And it does look like they're trying to keep Ronicky as maybe that third man in the midfield. See if Flakes and Devo can get the setup and let him come in out of the third man role and try and put that shot away. And interesting to see if Flakes and Devo have the firepower to get that done. Also, Devo very effective in these past couple weeks on the defensive side of things, and a big pump from Flakes to pull off Vitality, but K-Dop not done. Actually, I think he was looking for Alpha. Got a little too far in front of him, though.
Oh, and Flakes will push it home. That's the first goal of game 1.
Beautiful opener here. K-Dop, I definitely think, going for that back pass, and Ronicky just slams him out of the way, and Vitality trying to cover up, hopefully dive at it. Honestly, don't think it would have made a difference. One's going to dive, one's going to sit in the middle, and Flakes just went back post. Nice shot.
3:38 on the clock. There's K-Dop out of his net. Over the corner. Fairy Peak now looking for the equalizer. The Barca struck first. Alpha off that backward. Here comes K-Dop. Got a lot on the net to shoot at. Keeps it on the ground near the goalies, and they'll get it away. Flakes, we talked about him needing to make a strong defensive positioning or presence on this game, and he's got himself a savior medal already, and we're not even at halftime, Chiefs.
That's exactly what you want. He's got to be that guy that can stop Vitality. And how about Devo setting one up for Ronicky here? Flakes with a little musty flick. No problem for Fairy Peak, but Devo, I mean, how about you're just in the right place at the right time. It came right to you, just threw it right back into the middle, and Ronicky's there. Couldn't ask for anything better.
3:10 left to go, and Barca has all of game 1. They nearly find a third goal. Now Fairy Peak out to K-Dop. Crosses midfield. He'll lose control. Flakes picks this one up. Looking for Ronicky now in the midfield. He's up for it, but misses. Now it'll be up to K-Dop. Through one. Up for Devo. He can neutralize here in the corner. Now Fairy Peak working around that edge. Ronicky up to Flakes. Looking for Devo in the midfield. No. Approaching halftime. Vitality, a few moments of offensive power. Here comes another one. His very big shot is just high. Alpha, can he get up in time? He reaches for it, but he has no way to get velocity on this ball. And now the clear down the field. Fairy Peak's got to tuck it off to the corner.
That's 2 shots now for Vitality that have just been slammed towards that backboard, right above that crossbar. And here's another one, and finally they catch him on transition. Devo got a chunk taken out of him, but even still, I don't think it was going to matter. I don't think he makes it back anyway. Vitality with a great clear.
Ooh, they push that one through and catch the defense a little bit far forward. Vitality now up. Hey, have a goal now. 2:20 left to go. Over to the edge. Flakes with a miss. Fairy Peak just tries to trap this, see if he can give it to a teammate. Devo will tackle, and now Flakes airborne into the corner. He'll get it off the woodwork and back out. Alpha with a long cleared out of the field, and Ronicky pushes it off to the edge. Got airborne quickly for the midline defense. Midfield play, the name of the game right now for both teams, as Ronicky looks for Flakes on the outside, broken up by the Vitality defense.
It's a great idea, though. I mean, Ronicky, all he has to do if he's going to play a third man, just buy time, let Flakes and Devo get back, make the strong clear and the follow-up, and see what happens.
It's Alpha pushing this down. Fairy Peak actually sort of passes to Devo, who looks for Ronicky, drops it down into the box, but they did not commit all three players. Flakes hung back, gave it his time. Now K-Dop from the midfield. Ronicky can't reach it, and we've got a tie game.
Hang on, let's find out where Ronicky was. In the corner, rotating back, and misses pretty much every boost on the center line, and doesn't cut up the middle, doesn't pick up any of the pads, just went straight for the corner boost. This is a man with a plan. He was not deviating from that plan.
He made a decision, he stuck to it. It's an important thing to be able to do in Rocket League, but it does kind of suck when the decision's the wrong one. Here's 1:20 left to go, and it's now a tied up game. When it looked like Barça maybe was going to run away with game one, Vitality come back. They avoid the unequalizer here, and K-Dop now to push it out of his box. Fairy Peak up, leads for Alpha. Over one, K-Dop airborne. They'll follow behind this and get the second touch on Devo. Now Flakes try and push it to midfield. Nobody in the area from Barça, and they won't be able to hold on to control. Now Fairy Peak into the corner. Lofted by Devo on the retreat. Ronicky to the backboard. Alpha tries to extend outwards and will make contact. Now Devo up against Fairy Peak. Just pushes it high. Fairy Peak stays on the ground as Devo looks for demolitions. Now K-Dop out to Alpha on the quick transition. Down the field, is going to be broken up on the backboard by Flakes. But K-Dop with a read. Going to be looking for Fairy Peak as he pushes it off the ceiling. Back down. Here comes Fairy Peak, and it's not going to happen. The defense just able to muck it up in the box. 26 seconds left. Excellent drive from Vitality, but no goal yet. We're still tied.
Ooh, there's a bad touch, though. What do? They double committed, and actually very fortunate there for Barça. Vitality makes a big mistake when they could have capitalized on something. Shallow touch from Fairy Peak out in the middle, and Alpha will not be able to find it. 6 seconds.
Main attempt. Overtime looking likely. Here's the balls on the ground, and over to dead space. We will have overtime in game one. Barcelona had a bit of a rough season, but bring it back here in the tail end, and now fighting, admitting to the top four. They're looking to be top two and play for that regional championship.
Got what I wanted. Got Flakes and Devo playing solid defense. Alpha with a long cross, and I don't know what Vitality have here, but transition back the other way and well off the mark for Barça.
Devo punts it high to the sky. No one really in a good spot to use it, and Alpha's already up. Now Fairy Peak into the corner. Flakes trailing behind the ball. Devo and Ronicky both on the backboard. Flakes on the ground, only 26 boost, can't make the flight. Put the aerial pressure on, and here comes Fairy Peak. Devo drops this down. Alpha's up. Can he hold on to this? Look at half his boost to work with. K-Dop went for it as well, though, which leaves the backfield open. Flakes will just be able to push it in, and that's Barcelona taking game number one.
Punish them for that. K-Dop, I don't know what your plan was. Either way, tried to jump over your teammate's shoulder, and that's a wide open net. They definitely deserve to get scored on there, and Barca will happily take game one.
Man, the double commit there at the end, and the pressure Vitality was able to put on in the waning moments of regulation was so strong. But that Barca defense, as you pointed it out at the beginning, that was something that needed to stand up, and holy crap, it was great here in game one.
And they got that transition, too. That's the important part. Yeah, you know Vitality's going to be all over you, and they certainly tried to do that, as evidenced by, the double commits and then really trying to be aggressive and put pressure on them. But it's how does Barca get the clear and, more importantly, get their own opportunities back the other way? And they did just that. They found some clears up the sides, up to teammates on the sidewalls, out back into the middle for chances. And that's a nice job from Barca, because it's going to be near impossible to stop Fairy Peak, K-Dop, and Alpha from putting shots on target. There's no sense trying to even do that. Yeah. They're going to do it. Yeah. They're that good. So, you take your chances, you make sure you keep the comms up and not get too scrambly on defense, and they made it work here.
And they sure did. And we'll go into game number 2. Barça up by 1. Vitality looking to equalize here. And Vitality, I mean, the thing is, Barça got out to an early lead, and then Vitality was able to punish many mistakes, bring it back. So they're clearly lighting up here, but just that simple mistake in overtime, giving Barça the win there, as we'll get into game number 2. Flakes was on the Zippy in game number 1. See what he's on in game number 2. The Triton. No, this is the Animus. He goes, yes. It looked like Triton from a distance. Brings out the open-wheeled vehicle. With everybody staying at home, Lando Norris, the F1 McLaren driver, has been streaming considerably, but played a lot of Rocket League this weekend. And fittingly was driving an Animus himself, the open-wheel car, feeling right at home.
Yeah.
The long touches down the field. Vitality. They pick it up. And 2 FedEx bumping into each other near the ceiling. But the ball goes back into Vitality's half. K-Dop rotates out. Here's Flakes. Countered by Alpha. Devo sends a shot on target. Ronicky will be up to put pressure on it, but K-Dop gets behind it. Now the counter touches. Vitality looking to clear it out. Flakes onto that backboard. Won't be any good this time around. First minute will come and go quietly here. Both teams with opportunities, or will it? Fairy Peak from the midfield finds an opening on the defense and scores.
They caught him. Devo misses the ball because he's playing the touch. K-Dop wants the dunk, and just a clean whiff. Everybody from Barça expecting Devo to come up with a hit. Gets nothing. They're pushing forward. No chance with Fairy Peak being patient behind.
Devo through the air off the kickoff. We already saw him do this once. Did he get the flip reset? Actually, I don't think he did, but the threat was there, and the defense had to respect it. Barça looking to equalize here. K-Dop drops it down. Flakes is up for it. Gets in the way. Devo to the edge. Up against Fairy Peak. Pinches it through 1. Now Devo down towards the goal. K-Dop pushes it away. Ronicky lofts it high, and he's got Flakes lurking underneath. We'll go up with the shot. Alpha out of the goal will make the stop. Devo now with more pressure. The pass back into the box. Ronicky's a little bit loose. It doesn't make contact, and there's nobody in the back. Can K-Dop get the boomer? Flakes did manage to make his way all the way back on the defense and get that one away. And now looking for a goal on the other end. High flying action here in game 2.
It seems like Fairy Peak really trying to take a more conservative approach as well. I know it looks like he just took that ball away from his teammate, but it's actually a much better touch to go away from where Barca's camped out. I do think Fairy is well aware of how aggressive they were coming off last game, and seems to be making a concerted effort to stay out of the way a little bit more and just be that piece that can just glue together whatever Alpha and K-Dop put together.
K-Dop muscles it through Devo. Now into the backfield. It makes its way into the box, but never really was a goal. 2:40 left to go. Still the 1-goal lead for Vitality as they're hoping to tie it up and make it 2 here. Maybe from Alpha. Devo gets the block on 1, and K-Dop's already turned around backwards, but still manages to get the dunk. Flakes gets up and makes the save. Devo and Flakes on the goal line, keeping Barça in this. And within reach, only a 1-goal game as we've crossed halftime. Now out of the corner, Devo went for the bumps on Alpha. Was it really enough? I don't know. It's the demolition of the Fairy Peak. That means he spawns in the back line. Will he be able to get it in time? I don't think so. This went all the way through. Ronicky from dead center makes it a tie game.
Huge demo from Devo right there. Fairy Peak was definitely about to go jump and capitalize on that. And Vitality trying to be aggressive, keep everything tight, Fairy Peak in the right place, but it doesn't do you any good when Devo takes you out. And Ronicky, all he's got to do is put it on target with pace. Drills it.
2:07 on the clock. Fairy Peak over the midfield. Ronicky to the edge. Chases his own touch with a miss, though. Alpha now back into the air. Devo on the backboard, back down to Flakes, through 2. They'll chase this. Drops it to Devo. Off the ceiling. Fairy Peak will look for K-Dop. It's over the top of Ronicky. The backfield's open. Ronicky follows along and gets dunked out of his mind. Vitality takes the lead back.
This is a product of Ronicky being caught too far forward. Didn't think Fairy Peak was going to have that much power on it. And well done from K-Dop, actually. I mean, he still had boost in the tank, but just air rolling left because he knows that's Ronicky's only touch. Out to the side, make the car as big as possible in that direction as you can get it. And K-Dop able to get just enough to sneak that one by, catching Ronicky being too aggressive.
With a long touch now. The counter touch is Ronicky with a midfield shot and the block from Alpha. Devo's shot is blocked. Flake's shot is blocked. And Fairy Peak with the counter attack. What a defensive stand and a one-touch goal the whole length of the field. 2-goal game now.
And no one said Vitality couldn't play defense. Oh, tough couple of shots coming at him. Definitely scrambling, but either way, too much for Barça to handle. And they all get caught stuck in the offensive third as it's an easy goal.
It's one of the only situations I'd say as they put in a fourth goal off the kickoff. It's one of the only situations where the saves are maybe better than the save clears because you're dropping the ball right back down to the box to give your team control instead of pushing it off to the corner where nobody has control. As long as your teammates can always make the saves, it's actually better to hold it there. The problem is usually if you just get the save, the follow-up shot is good since they've had time to read it. Not going for the clears, turning into an instant counterattack goal, and they also get the following kickoff. Now up by 3.
Yeah, this game spiraled out pretty quick, didn't it? I mean, it was 1-1 for a long time, and then bang, bang, bang. Vitality out in front. Couple times, Barça caught being too aggressive. One time they make a nice little touch, but out of nowhere, this game seems unlocked, and there's another one. Alpha, all he had to do was make sure he tapped it one more time to beat the defense because he makes it look like he's about to miss this. I mean, the early flip, what are the odds he gets that hit? Devo didn't respect it. He's like, no way. He doesn't have that.
I feel like for Barcelona, the next 55 seconds is just stay warm. You know you've lost the game. There's no way to come back from this. Even with a minute left, down by 4, up against one of the best teams in the world. It's better to start thinking about game 3. As the pace did change. That moment, that one counterattack goal to put them up by 2, I feel like was the moment Vitality kicked it into the next gear. And the slow style we saw from Barcelona in games 1.5 is just not going to work anymore. They're going to have to rethink how aggressive they're going to be. The defense has been strong, but the offense has only been able to make 1 goal both games.
What's truly unfortunate is that they go and try and just send everybody at it. Like, oh, Ronicky, nice touch, and he will finish it. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to have the boost to beat Fairy Peak to that ball, but he just went for that read. And actually dunked K-Dop. K-Dop actually got that touch. That's so unfortunate. Rare is the opportunity where you can make a sick read like that and still get beat for it. But Ronicky slightly delayed the ball, gets the block, scores the goal, but either way, nothing going here. Game 2 is exactly what I was about to talk about. You're right, that slow, methodical style wasn't playing in game 1 as well as they would like. It got them a win. In game 2, they kept trying, but it just got out of hand. They tried to get aggressive, send all 3, put the real pressure on Vitality, and then even that didn't work. So it was just tough here in Barça in game 2. Just, what is that, 12 shots, only 2 goals to show for it. And to be honest, not even really that many saves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 12. So that's 2, 3 unaccounted for. So a couple off the backboard, a couple missed chances, but yeah, thank you. You can do math under pressure. I can't.
But 2 of them went in, so that would be 3. You were actually correct. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I liked the first half of this game. Felt like, man, these are 2 neck and neck teams. And honestly, there was a moment of a counterattack, of a brilliant defensive down that turned into an immediate counterattack. Like the one touch from Fairy Peak was perfect, straight down the field. Had that ball gone off of a wall, had it gone a different direction, I think that Barça gets back and probably saves that. So the fact that he made the perfect touch following the triple save situation from his team gave them the lead. The immediate kickoff goal is unfortunate, and that kind of was the moment I feel like Barça was like, okay, look, they got this one. Let's move on. And they will look towards game 3. So I expect a reset here. I don't expect to see the continuation, but at the same time, Vitality is a team that knows how to use momentum and knows how to absolutely run away with a series. So watch out here in game 3. Blake's moves on to the X-Devil. Pushes this one back to Devo, around, back in front. Oh, and Ronicky gets in. The team play on the small ball. Barça scores first.
Oh, the soft touch from Flakes. At that point, Fairy Peak has almost no chance. When that just gentle laydown from Flakes comes through. You are frozen in time on the goal line, and you are hoping that shot comes right at you. You have no idea what's coming next. And that time, the Barca pressure gets there.
Here comes Vitality on the other end. Flakes goes for the dribbles. Flick over one, a demolition onto another. This one goes into the corner. Now Roniki's up for it, back into the midfield. Here comes Devo looking for the shot, blocked by Alpha. Follow from Flakes, airborne onto the backboard. He's out of boost, and Fairy Peak will push it off to the corner before anybody could look to get up to try and find the layup. Now Alpha. Flick over one, or the dribble around one. Got creative, but didn't manage to get a goal out of it. Now Flakes, infield pass to Roniki, blocked by Fairy Peak. Vitality's defense holding on for now.
It's curious. I think Devo's just, I think he's so worried about Vitality getting long clears, he's willing to play farther back, but it's putting him just a little too far away from the action sometimes. It's letting Vitality out of their own half for free. Here's Flakes towards the right side, no problem for running.
Flakes on the wall. Nice jump to get the block, and then a second one in the corner, and a third one. Flakes all by himself, dismantling the positioning of Vitality. One touch from Fairy Peak pushes it back, but still not as strong as it was a moment ago. Now Kate up on the wall up against Flakes. He just keeps his car near the ball, but doesn't touch it, so it doesn't lose control. Kate up is forced to dribble back into his own half. Devo the pinch on Alpha. This one goes behind everybody from Barca. Alpha and Roniki, rule number one on the wall. We'll see if they can hold on to it. Devo trying to get out the Kate up. Now back over to Fairy Peak. This pushes into players. Flakes now.
This is a fight Flakes and Devo definitely lose. Kate up and Fairy Peak are two of them. Oh!
Is it in?
If that was
Hooks
in.
and pinch style.
My words right there if Devo scored that.
For the uninitiated, these are two players in the back corner respecting part of the culture of Rocket League. Looks like they broke it up.
Oh, they broke.
They did. They broke the rule number one. The question, we don't know who broke it, though, so we can't guarantee who's going to lose this game. Now Alpha up against Flakes. Over the side, Roniki demolished. K-Dop will send it through. You'd have to think that Barca was the one that broke it, given the results.
Yes, exactly. You would have to think Flakes out to the middle. That's actually a great challenge from Alpha. Notice how he didn't jump as he drove into that ball. He knows if he doesn't jump, that ball's just going to skim straight out to the side and bounce right back into the middle. He just takes it. As soon as it's off his car, immediately goes for the demo. Great approach from Alpha.
K-Dop pushes this one in front of his box. Alpha will extend it. And then Alpha helps it again. Continuing to develop the play from the midfield. K-Dop around this corner. Demolition onto Devo. Looks for other goalies. Now just paving the way for Fairy Peak to try and muscle it through Roniki. Flakes will come in to get it away before Alpha could do the dirty deed. We're tied up at one apiece. 2:04 left to go in game 3. A best of 7, so still a ways to go. Taking the lead would be nice. Now back over the edge to Fairy Peak. Not going to happen. K-Dop trying to hold on to this ball, being challenged by Roniki. He gives up control. Roniki loses control. He leaves it for Devo. Sends it up for 90. Fairy Peak gets it away. Over to the corner. Now back down. K-Dop will follow this one across the midfield line. Roniki lofts it high. Alpha with a drop to Fairy Peak and into a corner. Now back around. No. Flakes shuts down that motion. 125 left to go. Ball from Alpha after being demolished, or right before being demolished. Now see if Vitality can find a way through. There's 2 touches and Flakes in the goal line. Makes another save to get himself a savior medal in game 3.
Flakes with the right idea there, trying to bring that ball down out of his corner, but they're not done. Fairy Peak keeps it high, doesn't go in. K-Dop got around it. Devo is able to get back onto the goal line, but they're not done. Alpha towards the goal. Flakes and Roniki not to safety, but they will have time.
I'm not certain I understand the bounce on the crossbar there, but it happened. And with 50 seconds left, we are still tied despite Vitality's closest efforts. Fall back. Devo. Now around the corner, the flicker past one. Holds on to it again, trying to get above Fairy Peak. Roniki up there. Dunk it through. Into the corner. Fairy Peak a touch down the field to Alpha. The shot is wide. 30 seconds remaining. Still tied up. The winner going to take the lead in the series. Still a ways to go, given our 7-game situation. 15 seconds left. Fairy Peak with Alpha in the midfield. And he's got Kate off the trail as well. Up for the shot. Drops it accurate. Gets 2 goalies out. But they find the clears, and now the counterattack. Here's Flakes over the top of one. Up against Fairy Peak. Sends it to the corner. Here's Devo in. The pass midfield is blocked. Fairy Peak's shot will go all the way through for the buzzer beater. And Fairy Peak's howitzers have given Vitality this series.
You could feel the anticipation from Barça. They kind of getting fed up as they started that dribble. Flakes and Ronicky trying to figure out who's going to take the ball. They just want to go on offense. They get it figured out. Flakes tries to do it himself. And Fairy Peak, oh man, that hurts if you're a Barça fan, because you felt like, you know what, maybe we got something. It's just as that time started ticking down, you could just feel they're like, we don't want to give Vitality the last chance. We don't want to give Vitality the last chance. Oh, Vitality at the end, it's in. Why? Oh, that's devastating.
That's 2 games in a row. Fairy Peaks had a 1-touch goal that was the difference maker, the go-ahead goal. And my goodness, Vitality now up in the series. Can they hold on to it? They got to get 2 more wins here over Barça. And Barça, who played a valiant game, a strong game all the way around. It was even down to the last moment. But Vitality, this is one of the strongest parts of any AAA Rocket League player is just your field awareness and the ability to understand when your shots are there, when the shots are available. So he sees this opening down the field, understands there's 2 seconds left. It can bounce one time. I'm just going to send it that direction and hope the clock doesn't expire. It didn't. My goodness, Vitality. What a way to win the game, too. Exciting last few moments there.
And I could just feel Barça, they really were trying to turtle up. Devo and Flakes were back there on the goal line a lot because they just weren't sure exactly what Vitality was bringing to them. And they just got fed up with it, it felt like. And just got command. Everyone's like, cool, let's go. And it just collapsed right at the end. So tough break, game 4. And a chance for Vitality to really put some pressure as they will do it. Fairy Peak snuck that ball around Devo.
They can put some pressure on by winning this game, and this is an excellent way to start game 4. Fairy Peak. Good placement. Devo tried to get up in time, but just barely wasn't enough. Flakes pulls out the big guns this time around, is now on the Merc. Making his way through a lot of the early cars in Rocket League now. There's Vitality kind of all over each other in the corner here. A demolition. This one should just be a goal. Devo all the way down. It's going to need one more touch, but he's got that one red. The Fenix get all tangled up, and we're tied up here in game 4.
Classic Vitality playing tight. K-Dop is expecting that ball to maybe roll around the corner, maybe bounce. He's not expecting it to tip backwards, though, and he is caught far too close as it's a collision between Alpha and Fairy Peak in the corner. And that's what plays so well for Vitality a lot of the time, but right there it gets him into trouble, not able to handle the variance, and a free goal for Devo.
Flakes with the dribbles in the midfield. Ronicky picked it up afterwards. Now Flakes airborne again, down to Ronicky, blocked by Alpha. Here comes Devo now with an opening, gives it back to Flakes, who gives it back to Devo. The soft touch to the upper 9, he's just a bit high. Ronicky with the follow-up is good. Alpha gets blocked, but Flakes comes in, slams it home, and they've got the lead.
Real nice job here from Ronicky. This is exactly what you wanted. Set him up chances, let him be the third man, put it towards the goal. They save it, that's okay. Flakes is ready. They know Vitality are scrambling right there. Great press from Barça. A well-timed push is what gets it done, and a well-played shot from Ronicky.
Many shots there, just the barrage as they take the lead in what is developing into an exciting series. Alpha out of the box. Able to get it through Ronicky somehow. Now Devo out of his corner. You see Ronicky go up against Fairy Peak now off the backboard. There's Alpha over the top of Flakes, dropping back down. Devo will try to control this one through 2. Vitality putting on similar pressure to what we just saw out of Barça, but all their pressure into this corner rather than into the goal line. The drop back for K-Dop. The rest of Vitality not in position. Here comes Ronicky over the top of 1, looking to get it past 2. He does, and now in front of Flakes versus K-Dop. A demolition onto 1. Devo will close the gap. Off the backboard. Following, harassing the defenders. A 3-man push here from Vitality. Ronicky will try to shut it down. Fairy Peak picks this up and lofts it again. Fairy Peak to the edge. There's Devo with the long touch up the midfield. Alpha with a nice read. Ronicky out to Devo on the edge now. They'll play it towards the backboard. Right now, Vitality's reads on point. They're constantly airborne already. to receive the ball, and Alpha will look for the long carry. Flakes takes it away from him. Devo will block Fairy Peak, and won't see Vitality tied up just yet.
At the same time, though, also doing a nice job there in the midfield. A lot of solid approaches, big clears. Vitality shutting a lot of them down and making them work for possession, but again, it's reminiscent of Game 1, where Barça they're willing to play defense, and it's just make sure you get the ball away, buy some extra time. Because it's like that touch right there from Devo. If you mess that touch up, you're in trouble. Like Flakes just messed it up, and here comes Barça Vitality, and the dunk means the demo gets through, and all they have to do is beat Flakes. And how about the fake? Flakes he just stared him down. He's like, if I don't move, you're gonna think I'm gonna do something.
The game exists in the split-second decisions. Sometimes the choice not to make one is just as good. Devo's up to the corner. 2:08. Arcade up. Gets it past Devo. Flakes airborne will keep this ball moving in the offensive direction, but counter from Fairy Peak all the way down. Ronicky finds a clear. Now Alpha. Pass into the midfield. In front of the box. Bounces off the wall from Devo. Kate up. We'll get it to Fairy Peak. Nearly gets it through two. It's lofted high. Alpha's going to quickly turn. Ronicky's already airborne. Drops it back down in the midfield and Flakes. Can he get there in time? Fairy Peak will manage to get a block. Devo tries. Now Fairy Peak. Trying to get back into position. Hold on to the ball. On the wall now, leaves it for Kate up. Kate up. Launches it downfield. Devo to the backboard. Looking for the double tap himself. Fairy Peak now looking for Kate up on the cherry pick, and it's good. Tie game.
That is classic Vitality. Can always trust a boomer of a clear from the walls. Oh, and what makes it double worse? Right on the K-Dop, out of the corner. Ooh, that is a difficulty 10 shot. K-Dop, perfect.
1:17 on the clock. Vitality with a one game lead and now a 1-goal lead. They could get match point with a win here on Utopia, and they've got all the goals they need.
Off the kickoff, they all go back. It takes this nasty skip away from the defenders. Fairy Peak sizing up the defense. Target acquired, top left corner. It's good.
1:12, 5 seconds later. Barcelona now trailing. Flakes up. Devo to chase. Play it in the midfield. Flakes looking for the pass. Now looking for the setup himself. There's through two. Back down. See Alpha out of his corner. Hold on to ball control. The length of the field. And now to get it back around and in front of the goal. Crosses on the first touch. Now K-Dop back in. Defense takes care of the second. Fairy Peak backwards. This one back in front now. Flakes up against Alpha. Alpha gets there first. Slightly faster read. Devo airborne to buy his team time, but the rest of them just really aren't in position. Ronicky now on the goal line's got to make the stop. Here comes Fairy Peak to the far side. The block from Ronicky is good. Devo being bumped off the ball with 22 seconds left. Alpha is creating chaos in the back third. K-Dop now off the wall. Fairy Peak up against Flakes. Shot is good. Devo makes the stop off the backboard. Ronicky with half a tank, but having to use all of it just to hold on to this ball. Up against K-Dop with the final 7 seconds they've got to score. And we're going to game 5 with Vitality on match point here. Devo and Ronicky, the attempts. Fairy Peak not going to do it. Just get near the ball, guide it to the ground. Vitality takes 3 in a row rather. Barca won game 1, and that's been it. And now it could be over in game 5.
Very, very similar to game 2. Tight game, and then bam. Vitality out in front at the end of the game. A couple of wonderful pushes, expert shooting, and I think it was the speed from Vitality out of the midfield that really ramped it up. They just started beating Barca to every challenge at that midfield line as they were trying to clear it, and they just could never get their hands back on the ball to try and push it up the field. And so credit where it's due. I mean, that's some aggressive play from Vitality to just go for the ball and make sure they get a decent enough touch to be able to continue.
Yeah, the defense from Barcelona seemed fine. They were in position often. They put up 8 saves here. Like, they've made Vitality be creative. We saw like a classic, deepest as can be corner cherry pick goal to make it happen here, which is just
what are you going to do?
Standard position from anybody else. Yeah, and it's like that sort of goal is going to go in if it manages to get through there. And Barca put up some pretty strong efforts on offense, but still ran into the wall over and over again there Vitality is able to take that one away. Now going into Game 5, they are one game away from a rematch against Dignitas in the Grand Finals.
And it's definitely a rematch you want to see, no doubt. And it's just, you got to hope that somehow that defense is able to stand tall, because it's been tough. Vitality's been out shooting them every single game, but every time it's been tight. I mean, there's only been one game where it was not a one-goal affair. Barça are keeping themselves in there. And as we always say, one goal, it's always possible to tie no matter what.
It's always possible. Got to keep that range. Flakes. He's putting it back where he started the season. This is where he began, and if this is going to be his last game, he wants to end the same way, but you know he's going to try to get us to that Game 7. There's Alpha in the corner. Fairy Peak. The attempt, Ronicky. Nice touch midfield. Flakes up for it. Passes back down, shoots, and blocked by K-Dop. He read the pass. Got in the way of the shot. Fairy Peak will drop it to Alpha now. K-Dop. Long down the field. Flakes breaks it up. Gives it to Ronicky. Evo on the far side will try to pressure in the corner, but manages to get the ball for free. Now Flakes through one, a bump onto Alpha. K-Dop back to Ronicky. Alpha. Flakes will try to dribble this one around. Not sure I've really ever seen a successful dribble on the Scarab, but if anybody can do it, it's Flakes.
Absolute truth. And right now it's actually Barça with a little bit of midfield control, but Devo not really able to get a good handle on that ball. The most important part is whenever you've got space like this to work with in the midfield is when the ball comes back to you, that first touch is so important. How strong is it? Does it go too far away? Do you have to continue to chase the ball, or do you really get true control?
Ronicky. Stretch this one long down the field. Flakes attempts in the corner to take control, but Vitality defense holds. Now Fairy Peak is dropping this one soft. I don't know if he even touched it. K-Dop now onto the backboard, dropping dangerous into the box, and the clears come through from Barça. Now Alpha over the top of one. No. Flakes gets up in time. Ronicky will chase this. K-Dop loses the touch, and it's now into the orange half. And Alpha off the backboard, uncontested. Devo, excellent read. Onto the backboard once more. So they're continuing to push this ball into the Vitality back third.
That's what I like to see from Devo. He has always been a great midfield presence and tough. Under duress, can't do it. K-Dop, he let him go over, but he can't block the second one. Nice try on the goal line from Devo, but I mean, you can dodge one, but you can't dodge two.
Absolutely harassed as they part the waters for the ball to make its way in. Vitality with everything they need for a trip to the Grand Finals. This is K-Dop's home. He's been here more than many players, and oh my goodness, Fairy Peak with the no room double tap. Beautiful shot.
No chance. Flakes and Devo, that's not going in. We're fine. What? What a shot from Fairy Peak. That is sick.
2:38 on the clock now. Can Barça find a way back into this match? They have their backs against the wall. Ronicky across. K-Dop, an interception. Looking for another double tap. Flakes with the miss. K-Dop respected it. He fully expected him to find it. Maybe also ran a little bit low on boost. What could have been a 3-goal game. Now Alpha. Looking for the flip reset. Devo was already up for the block. Tired of being bumped by Vitality players. There's Flakes to the corner. Alpha over the top. Here's Devo in the backfield now looking for Flakes up in the corner. He's in the cherry pick this time. Alpha beating one. Punt on counter punt. Ronicky looked for the shot up at the ceiling. Not going to find it. Ronicky pass to midfield. No, just takes the shot himself. Flakes muscles it through one player. Fairy peeks up and gets the block. Rotational defense from Vitality working out right now, but Ronicky shot blocked by K-Dop, followed from Flakes. It's the block by Alpha. The defense from Vitality, they are insane. 1:32 left to go, and Barça can't buy a goal.
Not done yet. Flakes was the middle. Alpha can't get it. Just Devo not able to just dunk him. What do you got to do? You're absolutely right. You can't buy a goal.
Comes back down. We'll see in the corner. Here's Devo with the shot.
Oh,
Finally, they get it through. It just took the time in the corner, and Devo finally finds the back of the net.
I like Devo getting more aggressive here. Perfect bounce for him. Very peak, needed a little boost, rotated into the corner, hoping maybe that ball would roll up, but kicks out. And just can't make it back in time. Devo with a strong shot gets it through. Another chance.
There's 1:13 on the clock, but as long as the ball stays in the air, Barça has all the time in the world to find that equalizer. They cannot afford more goals. Here comes K-Dop. Sending it off the ceiling back down and keeping it dangerous. Alpha's airborne. Try and beat Devo. A second bounce will give it to Fairy Peak eventually. Devo with the stretch in the midfield, not going to really reach it. Ronicky able to get it through K-Dop. Alpha now trying to control in the corner. He'll beat one, and Devo, though, will pick it up on his hood. Fairy Peak launches it from midfield. Flakes in the back will get the stop. This bounce, the dunk, is it in? It's in from K-Dop. It's a bit calculated here, but they'll take it.
I mean, K-Dop, he is literally going for a straight challenge. And unfortunately for Devo, I mean, that ball just rolls away from the wall and he's forced to chase it out. And since it doesn't stay closer to him, again, I was talking about the importance of that first touch. Do you really have true control? No, you do not. Gets away from him a little bit. K-Dop gets outside. Unfortunate bounce. Disaster.
Barça with 20 seconds left. They need a goal instantly so they have time for the equalizer. Flakes is pushing it through, but into this corner, you know, Vitality will be happy to play passive and wait for the ball to come to them. Just burn time off the clock. 10 seconds left. They've got it through the back line. That one should do it. Roniki's going to not be able to get this one out of his corner and into the goal in time for two. And Vitality versus Dignitas. It was the classic of Season 8. And we'll get to watch a rematch of it here in the finals, the European finals of Season 9.